Welcome everybody to the Hit the Ropes podcast with me and J News. You know what, J News? That was on me because I realized I have all my videos on high quality and I need to drop it down a notch. I got on 1080p. I need to drop it down. But hi everybody, it's your girl Delores and J News to hit the ropes this week and talk about all the things that are happening in wrestling from professional to indies. We got you here at Hit the Ropes Podcast. J News, do you have something to tell the good people?
Good people, um, it has been quite the week in professional wrestling. But as always, I would like to introduce to you or to welcome you here to the Hit the Ropes podcast. So, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all of you out there listening, watching, wherever it is that you're consuming the podcast at this point. Appreciate you guys always for watching and checking in and wanting to hear about the week that was. So, Dolores, without any further ado.
Ladies and gentlemen, we had an eventful week. But let's start off by saying, hi, Auntie Ellen, Garden Quilts and Art Show, for coming in and saying hi to us. Thank you. I know we had started and stopped for a second. That was on me. Big fingers just out here tapping things. Uh, so, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to start off our week with, as we always do, with the slides, ladies and gentlemen. Ooh wee. Me and J News hitting the ropes every Sunday, 9 p.m. You ready for the review? Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to start with WWE, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't know what WWE is, you better go check it out. They are on right now. WWE Raw is currently on USA. You have NXT, which is on CW, and you have SmackDown, which is on USA. At the top of the year, it will change, and we will notify you of this. Let's start off with Raw, ladies and gentlemen. Raw was on 10/28/2024. It was Raw 1640. And these are the matches scrolling below. We had Sheamus defeat Ludwig Kaiser. Ivy Now, along with Brutus Creed and Julius Creed, defeated Zelina Vega, who had Cruz del Toro and Joaquin Wild in her corner. For the WWE World Tag Team Title number one contendership final triple threat match, we had the War Raiders, Eric and Ivar, defeat LWO, Dragon Lee and Rey Mysterio, and defeat the New Day of Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods. But last but not least, we had Dominic Mysterio. He defeated Damian Priest. J News, were you able to see any of these? And what do you think of these shows?
For
Ooh.
the likelihood of consistency, I was able to check out what was going on there on Monday Night Raw. Raw to me because everything was go home this week due to their show in Saudi Arabia yesterday, Saturday. So go home meaning that these were the last shows of the week before the pay per view event took place on Saturday in Saudi Arabia for Crown Jewel. So Raw, to me, didn't really have any effect on the show in Saudi Arabia. The majority of the effect of what happened, um, or what led up to what was going on in Saudi Arabia, all happened on SmackDown. So for Raw purposes, it was another storyline development for Dominic Mysterio, him having to beat Damian Priest. Now he's uh, being pushed towards the World Heavyweight Championship, which I think is a little bit odd. I understand he is the number one heel in the company right now, but I think that has more to do with um, not with what he's been doing in the ring necessarily, but everything that he's been doing outside of the ring. So we'll see where Dom ends up there. The tag team match with the triple threat thing, it continues to build on what's been going on in recent weeks with Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston, and that whole dilemma within the New Day. So that continues, and their beef with the LWO, or at least Xavier Woods' beef with Rey Mysterio. And the War Raiders getting their push as they have returned from injury. And yeah, Sheamus and Ludwig Kaiser was just another one of Sheamus's bangers, and that was cool to start off the show. Um, and I think the ladies didn't get any love in this match outside of the Ivy in the show outside of the Ivy Nile thing, right?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And I really haven't
I think
latched on to
Dom is
American
man
Made.
enough to fight Cody. And the only reason I say that is going over the matches. We've had a lot of Dominic Cody dark matches.
Mm,
Generally those are like the gonna try it out to see before we do the real thing.
right.
And so it feels like they're building him up to this, and I'm like, I don't want to see that. Not gonna. As I said on another podcast, I call him Cody Ornthale Devontae Gonzalez Rose. And somebody said Orenthal, like the juice. And I was like, yeah, because he out here killing all over across the world. I got to represent for my boy Cody. I do, Jay. I do. I got to stand up for that good man. That's a good man, Savannah. That's a good man.
I'm gonna leave Cody Rhodes to you and his litany of fans out there in the WWE. I have supported Cody Rhodes for many a year, but for right now, and at this particular moment at my wrestling fandom, I cannot sit here and say that I am a Cody Rhodes supporter at all.
Listen, ladies and gentlemen, and this is the point where we got to get off the screen because Jay Luzon jumped out the gym. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go to NXT. Yes, NXT was on the next night. Why do I always want to show SmackDown? SmackDown seems to be my favorite this week. 10:29, ladies and gentlemen. It was a good show pretty much overall. So, ladies and gentlemen, as we all know, scrolling down across the screen are the matches. It was a casket match. Tatum Paxley defeated Wendy Chu. We had Charlie Dempsey. We're going to talk about this. With Miles Bourne, Tavion Heights, and Ren Sinclair in his corner, defeat Lexis King with William Regal, his father, in the other corner. We had Zaria defeat Brentley Reese. We had Kalani Jordan defeat Nikita Lyons. And last but not least, we had WWE NXT title match where Axiom and Nathan Frazier defeat Cedric Alexander and Javon Williams. J News, do you have any thoughts on this?
It's look. I think NXT is not. I don't think NXT is a bad show, but for all intents and purposes, the booking is a little confusing for me. Booking as in how it is that they're either making or deciding whether or not who wins or loses these matches, right? And or where when and where some of the talent on these particular rosters are going to be pushed forward or pushed to the side or made to be pushed together. I bring all that up to say that even after Tatum Paxley defeated Wendy Chu in a casket match, in a post match interview, it seemed like Tatum Paxley was basically saying that her and Wendy Chu can be friends again. So they're probably going to pair them as a tag team at this point after all this beef that they've had. Like to your point, Dolores, I don't necessarily understand where this whole Lexus King, Steven Regal quarter catch crew thing is going with Charlie Dempsey.
Is
Uh,
this gonna be like a I don't and I can't remember if they finished the storyline. But the whole well, if they didn't finish the storyline. Let me take that back. But the whole like when Cody came back, like Dusty was my father and he didn't train you. He didn't do this with you. He didn't do that with you. Is that the storyline we're gonna get in real life with them two? Is that like he is willing to train and go out his way to help somebody else that is not his son?
I, who knows at this point? I just feel like you know. I think they've directly touched upon the fact that Charlie Dempsey is William Regal's son. I might be wrong with that. I don't know, but for people who've been watching long enough, or at least read the dirt sheets, people are aware. Um, but it's interesting because you know Regal himself, in interviews and things of that nature, has never wanted his son to basically ride off of his ride off his coattails and things of that nature, which is fine. Do your thing, create your own path, and everything else in between. Um, it's that this no quarter catch crew thing I thought could have been used as a vehicle to really propel Charlie and all the members of the no quarter catch crew. But I feel like we've been stuck in neutral for a while with them.
I don't
Um,
think groups do good in WWE. No group lately has done good in WWE, other than Judgment Day, but which seemed like they were separate and happened to get together. Like Rhea did her matches, Damien did his matches, Finn had his matches, but together they weren't good together unless we were having these funny segments backstage.
yeah, because
It's like groups don't do good at all.
they work as they at least the way they write them on WWE TV, specifically talking about the no quarter catch crew, be it Charlie Dempsey and Ren Sinclair and Tavion Heights, and I forget who the other young man is. But they usually use them as comedy bits backstage, which is kind of whack at the end of the day. And Lexus King, for whatever it is, Brian Pillman Jr., aka, he's not taken seriously. So it's like, where are we putting these talents?
Unless they're going to do where the thing that we're used to in wrestling, where the thing that he is running away from, he is slowly getting pushed to. So like
That could be the case. Okay, that could
that,
be.
like even with William Regal's help, he gets worse and worse and worse and worse till
Mhm.
he snaps and turns into his father.
That
And
that's
then
yeah.
we have the Austin uh the Pillman thing all over again, where he's now but feeling like William Regal is the cause of his problems, and now is stalking this man, showed up in his house acting crazy, just doing
Yeah,
outrageous things like his father would.
maybe. That would be interesting. Moving over to the ladies match, uh, it was a random match because Kalani had just come off of her Women's United States Championship loss. For her to go one on one with Nikita Lyons. I don't necessarily know what they're doing with Nikita Lyons, but now it seems that Nikita Lyons was the one who took Adriana Rizzo out. So Adriana Rizzo did her bit after the match was over to attack Nikita Lyons because Nikita Lyons initially attacked her. So they have that going. Now Kalani's off to the
It's
side.
like, how's she supposed to be a heel? No offense.
Yeah,
Nikita Lyon during this time off has gained a lot as far as she's a little thicker. She can't be doing the kaya karate kicks and stuff like she used to. And now it's like the one main attraction you had with her is that like she was this thick girl who could she had the movement and the fastness. She don't have that no more. And she's not really a good talker. And her in-ring work is not the greatest. So it's like What do we have left? Why? Also, while we're here in WWE, I wasn't mad at the cuts that they made. I really wasn't.
Oh, you mean the releases over the last day or two?
Yeah,
Okay, okay. Um,
it wasn't. Was it? It wasn't
I
like, oh my god, shocking.
I found it confusing about Indy Hartwell. Otherwise, not saying
How
that people.
many big chances has she had?
No, but
Well,
the thing is that she's been on TV recently, so that's why I found it surprising. You know,
and I
so
think they had a point now where they don't even care if you just if it's a waste of time. She hasn't gotten good at talking. Her in ring work sometimes is a little stop and go. It's like trippy, and they put her with Candice to give her a chance to grow.
mm,
And we saw Austin Theory grow. We saw what's the creepy dude that's in
Dexter Lumis.
yeah, we saw him grow. She just stayed the same. And it was like at a certain point, she just became like a yes woman. Candace would cut the promo. She'd be, yeah, yeah, right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And it was like, you can't talk. You can't really wrestle. You're not bringing any money in. So, like, it's not like you moving merch. What is your purpose here? And they tried to give her, in that last match she had with Candace, that thing was a stinker. And so and it seemed like Candace was trying to pull her along and she just wasn't getting it. They gave her big like shot to win the title and she still didn't do anything with it. It was like, so you didn't do anything in NXT. We tried to put you on the main roster, you still ain't did anything. Let's just cut our losses while we can. Baron Corbin is kind of shocking because he's more like he's waved the red flag for WWE, like he goes hard for it. But again, you have had some off the WWE things that you had to deal with during the time period you were on and off. Then you had the injury. Then we put you with what's his name? Not Cedric Alexander.
Apollo Crews,
Um,
I think.
Apollo Cruz.
Mhm.
Listen, that didn't work. Apollo, this is the thing about Apollo and why I think Apollo sometimes gets a pass at things is because you are really interested in him the first 3 weeks he starts this whatever character he on. You hooked. But by the fourth week, you're like, Apollo, this is stupid. Can we fix this? Can we do something to this? I mean, the whole psychic thing he had, it was funny, it was cute. Then it became repetitive.
I don't even recall that, to be honest.
You remember back when he was beefing with Braun Breaker and all of a sudden he was having these visions. And
No,
he was like, he was in the diner
no,
writing. Yeah, it was bad. It was bad, J News.
I don't
He would,
recall it.
he would be in the diner writing and he'd be like, I'm having a vision. I'm going to win next week. Like it was always, he always had a vision that never came true.
Interesting. Uh, I would like to say, I'm never for people losing their jobs and things of that nature. Good luck to all those talents release. Um, Tegan Knox, aka Nixon Newell. Um, for me, for my money, this is my personal opinion. Um, it has it. I don't think that the WWE ever necessarily knew what to do with her, right?
I think
Um,
Trips knew what to do with her, but by the time he got her, she was broken and he was like, well, what can I do? Like I got like Triple H really likes these kids are like his toys and he likes to I can do this, I can do that, I can do that, I can relive this, I can do this. But in the end, some of them are just not you some of them are coming in a condition where it's like, are you salvageable? Pete Dunne, the fact that when he came to Triple H, he was butch. And Triple H had to somehow weave, dodge, book and buy to get him back to now where he is Pete Dunne and he's snapping fingers and and stepping on people, and he does not like that name, which I appreciate Triple H because I hate when name changes or things happen and then we pretend like I didn't call him Butch for 2 years every time I got on the podcast. I I appreciate that. I appreciate that there's some storytelling behind that. He did not like the name. He hates when people call him this. Listen, I'm never gonna tell you out in public, but there's a name that if you are, and it's not a bad name, it's just a nickname. And some of my family, if you see this again and you write this in the comments, just know why all your 32s are missing. That I don't like people to call me.
Mm.
And if you call me that, I'm like, be done. I just pass out. I
Interesting.
don't like it. Okay. And so I can understand his story. Like, I didn't come up with this name. This name was given to me.
It,
And I
it
don't like it.
it's been my I've had this. I didn't have a disdain for WWE UK. I thought they had a,
I
they had
really liked it.
I thought they developed a strong brand with them, but not all the talent um transfers over to the main roster, which is why I was okay with the UK having its own brand. Because if people don't realize this, or people don't want to understand or get the concept, um, some wrestlers are better off in different bubbles.
Hey,
Um,
Tori.
hey, Tori. Some wrestlers are better off in different bubbles, and they work for a specific kind of product, right? Not everyone works or transfers over to the mainline WWE product. You know, they've had their winners. You know, they've had some people that have hit. Obviously, Rhea Ripley hit. Obviously, Walter slash Gunther hit. Right? They're hoping that Ilya Dragunov hits once he comes back from injury. And Piper Niven, she's done a whole lot with what she's been given. She's been able to stay on the main roster. Shouts to Chelsea Green because she was able to put her in that bubble, and they've worked at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And they're still trying with Isla Dawn and Alba Fire, aka Kaylee Ray. Um, but they get
I
lost
think
in the
it's,
shuffle a lot of the
the
time.
disconnect is you have some overseas talent who come in, they have an aura, and then they kind of break it by speaking. For me, it's like once you open your mouth and it's like boom, and I'm like, are we gonna pick it up? Are we gonna handle it? Are we gonna? My
Yep.
best example that you'll ever hear me say is somebody who opens their mouth and immediately I go, shut up, put the mic down, and walk away. Wardlow.
Wardlow.
You were powerful. You looked great. You were handsome. You were perfect. And then you opened your mouth, and I was like, huh?
But the thing is that that's what the entertainment factor of professional wrestling is, right? Or at least that's what the narrative has always been. That if you can do good on the mic, you're going to be able to put butts in the seats and sell tickets, right? That's the American way. That's the Western way of of drawing money and selling tickets and things of that nature. Not everybody's good at that, right? You have to play to people's strengths and stuff like that. And to finish the point about the NXT or at least NXT UK with those particular talents, a lot of them didn't make it out of NXT UK, and a lot of them didn't transfer over. A good portion, a minute group of them have been able to make it on the main roster. Props to them. But a lot of other of those acts have lost their way or gotten lost in the shuffle and or been released at this point. So there's that of it. And I was talking about Tegan Knox specifically. I saw a lot of talent in her when I used to see her on the UK Indies because she used to have banger matches. Is really what her thing was. Um, and for all intents and purposes, there's no real. It's tough to say in a vacuum that there's no real place for women to just have banger matches, right? Because individually during shows, any group of women can have dope matches. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
it's more like what brand, what feel, what company is going to do her best. And right now, I don't necessarily know. But
I
she's got a
think
nice.
she is. at this point very injury prone, and
I mean,
she
she's been good. The what I understood about this particular release, and this is what I don't understand, and why it happens because it's happened to other talents as well. She's been off TV and not even doing house shows for the last 6 months, but yet she has to serve out a 90-day non-compete. I think that's complete bullshit. If she
but
hasn't been working, why does she have to serve a 90-day?
on the flip side of that, if let's just say your job fires you
Sure,
and you have an option of 90 days, I'm still getting paid, and or I cut you and that little extra money for 90 days until you figure out another job is not there, you probably would just decide to take the sit down and just wait.
but
Doesn't mean you're not gonna have, because they all have. Let's not pretend like they all have conversations. They
no,
all
no, of
have
course, yeah,
conversations,
I'm not,
regardless
yeah,
of the 90 days or not. But it's the fact that it's implemented to give you kind of a buffer until you get where you need to go. But a
yeah, but
lot of
you're
people, because a lot we've seen a lot of people just get fired and they're like, you can do what you want to do. I don't
yeah,
care. I don't want to pay you no more. I don't want to be dealing with you no more. I want to leave you alone. That's
technically, technically, right? If you're given a 90-day, you're not supposed to be. You're technically you're not able to talk to any other company before you do anything else. Technically, right? Not
you
saying that it
you
doesn't
talk
happen.
to a friend of a friend of a friend of a
Right.
friend.
To your point, it doesn't. Not saying that it doesn't happen, but technically, you're not supposed to. The point I'm trying to bring up is there's been other talents that have been released by the WWE or whatever the case is that didn't work 3, 4, 5. In this case, with Tegan Knox, 6 months either on house shows or on television, and then they're still serving another 90 days. To your point, Dolores, yeah, if it's a conversation they have with the higher ups in the WWE where it's like, oh, I need the extra 90 days worth of pay, fine, cool, whatever. But then there's another perspective of it where it's like, if wrestling is really your thing, if this is your career and this is what you want to do, fuck the 90 days, bet on yourself and go get that money.
I just watched. Well, I know Ricky Starks has been screaming slowly under the covers that he has made it clear I'm ready.
Yes,
I am available.
he has.
They
He
won't
has.
do anything for me. And it almost reminds me of not Penta, but Ray Phoenix, the fact that you just gonna make me sit and wait and just keep on doing it till my time on the clock runs out, and then you might extend it just a little bit more to make me suffer. It's like, yeah, I think Triple H, especially seeing the backstage stuff, because I watched the outside ring stuff, has been very vocal of he loves them like they're his own kids.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't think he probably understands her situation. And
Sure.
because the people who have been let go and not been paid and just like gone about your way are people who have made a fuss that I don't want to sit 30 days, I don't want to sit 90 days, I don't care to do any of this.
Mm-hmm.
And they have been like, you don't want this, that's cool. But then again, those are the same people sometimes that you see circle back around to WWE
Right,
because
because
they looked at the other side and thought it was golden, and then they got over there and it's just because I think WWE is more structured and you just can't say and do anything. They build your character, they kind of build you as a person like a build a bear, whereas WWE is like if you let a kid go into build a bear and just do whatever he wanted to, the bear might explode. They don't put too much stuffing on the inside. The thing might have 90 charms on it. It might be you see what I'm saying? It might be too much. And I think sometimes people AEW gives you freedom to be who you want to be, but it also comes at a cost because we see a lot of wrestlers go over there. And I can personally say, as a Sasha Banks fan, as a Monet fan, I look at her now in AEW and go, "What happened to that girl I used to know? What happened to her? Because you came over here and it looked like they sucked the life out of you. What happened?" And then now I see the difference. She was very scripted, very uptight, very built to be this person. She has to do it on her own. She has to come up with her promos and the things she's gonna do. And now it's like girl, this ain't working. This ain't working at all. And I wish people would
I, I
think about
honestly,
their career.
I honestly think that um, it's always going to be up to the talent, right? That's my perspective. At
Yeah,
the end of the day, it's always going to be up to the talent, which is why it frustrates me when I see certain talent that gets released and hasn't worked on TV and hasn't been on house shows for long periods of time, and then they still get another 90 days test on to their deal until they can go do something else. It's like, look, if you're making money for by sitting at home or sitting in catering, cool, no doubt, but there's also, like I said, there's also the perspective of go bet on yourself and go do the damn thing and go prove your worth. You're not and go show people that you're not supposed to be sitting in catering or sitting at home collecting a paycheck. Go earn that shit. Go
also,
make it.
let's be clear. I used to think WWE was overbearing very a lot. And lately I have heard some things that made me think you all are just right on tag. Now, um, Bobby Lashley had an interview where he said that he wished him and Gunther had a match.
Yeah. Look,
Yeah.
Bobby's ideas are a little bit extreme.
Yeah, and when he said, "I wish he had said you people," and I would have been like, oh, "Are you talking about black people?" And then we would have been, and I'm like, all I bet in Triple H's head was, "I made this mistake years ago. Y'all are still got foot on neck. I'm not gonna do this again."
No, of course. That's why it's filtered, right? You take it to whoever you take it to, and you see if it passes. If it doesn't pass, then it doesn't come to light. At the end of the day, same thing happens in AEW. Tony Khan has final say. At the end of the day, if he
He
doesn't like
has
what you're
something
cooking,
to
he's not
say,
going
but
to say
he's mostly like, "You're my friend. You can do whatever you want. You feel like it's gonna work? Go ahead, buddy. It's gonna kill." And then we watch it live. Like, first of all, I don't care how high of a level person he was, and I love this man to death. Cody shouldn't have went out there and did that racism promo. That should have never happened. That should have never aired on TV whatsoever. The fact that you let that man who was already in his Cody verse go ahead and Martin Luther King it up. And we all was sitting there like, even I, who am a diehard Cody fan, was like, you know what, my brother, I understand what you're trying to say, but this ain't the time to say it. And he
yeah,
was just like, even
it's
he now missed that was the wrong time, wrong place. Now
yeah.
I would die on the hill
I,
that
I I
the
think
Brandy, I'm not, I might not have a black belt, but I'm a black lion. Still, it gets me, okay? As a female, I found it funny. I was like,
yeah.
that's my quotable line from her.
It's a lot of give and take with that. It's very hit or miss, obviously, because you're gonna be able the freedom of being able to try something and fall on your face at times is better than being told no and sitting in the back. I think because you
Yeah,
at least get to learn something.
and I totally understand it. I mean, y'all saw this earlier in the
Mhm.
intro. Me trying to make this big expensive bow, bow, bow. Intro was like, no, you going outside your limits, boo. You need to stay in the pocket. I mean,
Yeah,
every day we get chin checked about this.
not everything is going to be clean, but hopefully, to get to it, those Baron Corbin and Tegan Knox and Indy Hartwell succeed in whatever else is going to be next for them and stuff like that. So just wanted to
Yeah,
say
I
that.
think Baron Corbin has a shot. I mean, the way he trashed AEW, I don't think that's gonna be it though.
No,
Uh,
I don't think he'll be there to be honest, but
WWE Friday Night SmackDown was on the 1st of November. And these are the matches that happened on that night. We had a non title match. Liv Morgan, along with her bestie, her boyfriend, Mysterio, and Raquel Rodriguez, defeated Tiffany Stratton with Nia Jax in her corner. First of all, I just want to say before I even finish, because it might leave my head, why is Nia still in her corner when she tried to cash in? Oh, oh. The Street Profits, Angelo Dawkins and Montez Ford, along with B-Fab, defeated Pretty Deadly, Elton Prince, and Kit Wilson. Bailey and Naomi defeated Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell. No, 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 no. Goodbye, Indy. Fatal four way match. We had Io Sky with Kairi Sane in her corner defeat Bianca Belair and Lash Legend with Jakar Jackson in her corner and Piper Niven with Chelsea in her corner. It was setting up for the pay per view. We'll talk about that next. Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton defeated Imperium of Gunther and Ludwig Kaiser. Hey, News, did you see any of this right here?
I did. I did. Um,
It was a,
this is
it was
basically
just a throwaway.
this was the go home show for this for the PLE in Saudi Arabia and stuff like that. Um, it set up all the different storylines that were going into the premium live event. I think SmackDown did well with that. This particular show for SmackDown was pre-recorded the week before. Um, so a lot of this was leaked online on the dirt sheets and in the
Yeah.
internet and things of that nature. So people knew the results and what was happening a week ahead of time. I didn't bother to look this up a week ahead of time. I watched it as it went on, um, and they did status quo work for me. This wasn't impressive, but it wasn't bad at the end of the day. So they were able to deliver on the setup for the premium live event in Riyadh, and good for them in that
We
particular aspect.
just we just had a pay per view where Tiffany tried to cash in on Nia, and Nia set her like the Undertaker, and you still messing with her after you know she don't mess with you like that. That sound like you got a problem, sis. And I hate that we listen as a big girl. I hate that we always have to play like we don't understand English. Ladies and gentlemen, we had Halloween Havoc. That was last Sunday, so we're gonna go over the matches that you see on screen for Halloween Havoc. We had for the NXT North American title tables, ladders, and scares match. Tony D'Angelo defeated Oba Phoebe. Oh my God, Oba. Julia and Stephanie Vaquer defeated Cora Jade and Roxanne Perez. In the ambulance match, Ridge Holland defeated Andre Chase for the WWE NXT Women's North American title gauntlet match. Fallon Henley defeated Kalani Jordan, the former champion, JC Jane, and Jasmine Nix in that title change.
Hmm.
WWE NXT titles Devil's Playground match. Trick Williams defeated Ethan Page. Any thoughts about this show that happened?
Um, Not really. Outside of Julia and Stephanie looking good together, as they did as a tag team. I thought that in that women's match, uh, Julia, Stephanie, and Roxanne. I'm sorry, Julia, Stephanie, and Roxanne stood out. Um, Cora Jade looked rusty. I'll say that. Uh,
She definitely did.
I'm going to try my best nowadays to detract from detracting on the talent at the end of the day. Some people just need more time, so let's give her time, being that she
Like
just
she need
came
to
back,
hang out with CM Punk a little bit more.
yeah, from injury and stuff like that. I'm not a fan of Ridge Holland. Um,
Not at all. I don't understand the fact of a man who hurt people having a storyline about him hurting people, and then in a match where he had to hurt somebody and put them in the ambulance, which was crazy because the last shot of Andrew chasing the ambulance, he was not hurt or incapacitated. He was literally banging on the window asking to get out.
yeah, that didn't necessarily work for me. Tony D and Obafemi's match was good.
Yes.
I give Tony D all the credit in the world for what he's been given. And Obafemi continuing to be the force that he is. Fallon Henley winning the United States, the Women's North American Championship
I
was
was angry.
a little surprising for me.
I was
But
angry. I
I
was
did.
very much angry. And let me tell you why I was angry. We're going to go into why I was angry here. Okay. This is why I was angry. Because Jasmine and JC did not notice that Fallon made this match and made herself the last gauntlet entry. So she had a higher chance of winning than the other two. So you set me up for your win. It's not like we all gonna share the title. You set me up for you to win. And then I still had to help you win, even though this girl had fought the both of us. I'm like, when I know sometimes wrestling, I'm not supposed to use my common sense, but sometimes common sense gotta be common somewhere. Hey, Ruby over there making food. She ain't made me none, J News. I'm so mad. I'm so mad. And also, I'm inspired by J News because I've been teaching my nephew Spanish. Okay, J News. Had
Where
to
that
bring.
goes. Well, all right.
He
Um,
say amigo now. He thinks he's fine.
that's cool. No, but the I was surprised that Fallon Henley won. I saw a post that she put up on the internet the other day, basically comparing her first televised match that happened, I guess, on an AEW Dark or whatever the case is, in comparison to where she is now, as the women's North American champion. There's differentiation, right? It's not the company, dear. It's all the work you put in to be where you're at now, right? You needed to be in the PC. You needed all that work. It wasn't the opportunity. It was the skill set. Now you
Well, I
have it.
mean, sometimes you need an opportunity.
Yeah, you needed an opportunity, and you needed time to practice, and you needed time to elevate your skill set.
I
So
can
now
take
you are where you are.
I
So
can take
appreciate the
even
work
though
you
when
did.
Restream acting, on my intro acting up, I'm doing a lot better than when we started a year ago because I was struggling a year ago. Just do that. We was out there. You was looking like, what are we doing, Dolores? And I'm like, just hold on. I think I figured it out by the end of the day.
Because you need the repetitions, you need the reps. That's what it's all about. It's about, don't listen to Allen Iverson. It's all about the practice. All right, my people, don't ever forget that. It's always going to be about the practice.
Listen,
Don't
if I
ever
could step over
stand
somebody, which I know is bad, down here in the South it's bad luck to step over somebody, you gotta step back. But if I could just step over somebody and get that picture and just step back, that'd be great. That's all I need. That's all I need. Ladies and gentlemen, we had Crown Jewel. It was on the second, ladies and gentlemen, and as you see, the matches are on the graphic. We had starting out the bloodline, Jacob Fatu, Solo Sokoa, Tamatonga, with Tongaloa in the corner, defeat Roman Reigns and the Usos, Jay and Jimmy Uso. We had the WWE Women's Tag Team Title four-way match where Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill kept their championship by defeating Chelsea Green and Piper Niven, Damage Control, Io Sky, Kyrie Sane, and Metaphor of Jakar Jackson and Lash Legend. We had Seth Rollins defeat Bronson Reed. Listen, he know he got caught on camera if you watch the after interview. We saw what you said, Seth, and I agree. WWE's Women's Crown Jewel match for the vacant title, which they just came up with. Liv Morgan defeated Nia Jax. In the WWE United States title triple threat match, LA Knight kept his championship by defeating Andrade and Carmelo Hayes. And last but not least, the WWE Crown Jewel title match for his vacant title, Cody Rhodes. I said, Cody on Bell, Devontae Luther King Rhodes. Okay, Gonzalez, don't forget that. Defeated Gunther for the first inaugural Crown Jewel Championship. J News, how did you feel about that?
um I didn't watch the show. I uh
Oh, but
I saw the highlights of what happened for each match.
we're gonna highlight
Um,
J News on that.
and I thought that for all that I saw, it seemed like the ladies in the tag team match did the damn thing. They showcased. They went off. Props to them for doing their thing. Um, Andrade, Carmelo Hayes, and LA Knight had a tremendous match. Shouts to LA Knight for uh, for the win and being able to defeat both men at the same time with the finish. Um, it seemed that Cody Rhodes and Gunther made the decision to have a highly technical wrestling match, uh, for their match, and it seemed to work. People liked it, so
I
good for
did.
them.
Even as favorable for Cody, I did like it. Um, this is the part I did not like, Jay News,
Hmm.
because the nerdy me watched the after show. Okay, and the nerdy me can tell you that this is what happened. That big old title was a waste. Okay, they both had the big title. They showed them getting on the go kart all the way to the presentation, and I thought, okay, we're just gonna have these after interviews, and they had the titles. And I don't know if Liv and Cody were aware, or that maybe they had forgot that they were supposed to give up these titles. Okay, and so they Liv gave up a title first. And this is WWE, so we all know, expect the unexpected. Maybe they didn't have a clue who they had initially planned to win. I don't know. But they said, and you're going to give us the belt. We're going to leave it here in Saudi Arabia. It's going to be defended every year. But for the consolation of you giving up this belt, we will give you a ring with 170 diamonds and 176, I think, diamonds in it, different shades of color. Liv was first. She gave it up. She went to put on her ring. Triple H hollers out, maybe we need to resize it. Thing was just, it barely fit. So I'm like, okay. Get to Cody. I'm like, Cody Arnthel, come on, let's put this ring on. You know what I'm saying? Because he was shocked that he had to give him his belt too. I was like, okay, Cody, shock wore off, get this ring. Cody goes to put on the ring. The son of a thing won't fit on there. And he literally was like, Triple H, like, well, we might have to resize it. I mean, he done said it again. Cody's like, no, we can get, and he wedges this on his finger. Like, you hear his fingers popping, wedges this on his finger, and then literally has to stand there and take pictures. As you can see, the ring is just fused onto his finger. And I'm thinking to myself, did y'all not think ahead of this? Y'all didn't know that Cody and Liv were gonna win? Y'all didn't think to size these rings to somebody's finger? Like, come on now. Cody looked like he was in pain. He was literally jamming it on his finger.
I saw the video for that, and yeah, the rings were too small. To your point, they had to have had an idea who was going to go over at this point. So if you're not going to size them to whoever's going to win, at least oversize the ring, right? So that it doesn't, so that it you know it fits on any finger, even a thumb, right? But let me mention something real quick because I think this is important. Um, I didn't mention the Liv Morgan versus Nia Jax match for a reason, right? Somebody put it best when I went on to Twitter this morning. The Liv Morgan versus Nia Jax match
Was good.
reminded them of a House of Torture match, Dolores, and that to me is a sin in professional
And
wrestling.
I thought it was gonna be good, Jay News, after seeing that tag match.
It is a
The
sin.
fact that Jay,
It
listen,
was a sin. Shout outs to Bronson Reed for wearing the MF Doom inspired gear to the
yes.
ring. Shouts, because hip hop is a global thing. You know what I'm saying? So shouts to Bronson Reed for that.
Also,
Sent
shout out
Rollins your goon.
Self
Uh,
getting caught cursing on camera in another foreign country when he was like, "What the is wrong with you?" I was like, I would have said the same thing. So if this big man, I done stomped his head into the ground. Just he stand. It looked like somebody had, maybe gave him a firearm to the head. It was a wound, wide open, and he was standing there looking like, "Oh, ready for some more." And Seth was like, "What the is wrong with you?"
yeah,
And he
man.
said it, and it looked like a moment where you forget everything is around you, and you literally just say what comes out.
But Bronson's supposed to be a monster. That's how we're supposed to be playing this up. It was just an instance. in where he was beat for the three, but he got back up by the time Seth was outside, and he was bleeding from the. It was a good moment to have for Bronson Reed, but I want to say this about the ring situation. Outside of them not being fitted, it seems that they got this ring idea from somewhere, Dolores, and I'm not gonna let you.
MJF,
No, 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 no. Don't you
AEW,
don't you don't
AEW.
don't you dare, Dolores. Don't you dare. This goes on your man Cody's head. Because this was Cody's idea for like 7 years. He did it in ROH, and after he did it in ROH, he did it in AEW.
But
Right?
you know
This,
what?
this is an
I,
entire Cody Rhodes worked idea, and it never works at the end of the day. It
listen,
never works.
I listen. Cody might have thought.
Tired of that shit.
Listen,
Tired of that shit.
listen. Cody might have thought of this, but you got to give the man credit. He got a 106,
No,
100,
no, no,
176
no, no,
diamonds
no,
in the
no.
ring.
We're not
He
doing
been
that.
around
We're
forever.
not doing that. We're not giving him a pass for this.
Also, I want to put out for the wrestling fans who are CM Punk fans. For all of you screaming, he's a hypocrite. He's going to Saudi Arabia. I didn't see him there. He wasn't there.
No,
Okay?
he's not.
He's,
When it comes to his politics, he's not a hypocrite. At the end of the day,
you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, they're like, he's going back. He's a hypocrite. And I'm like, no, he's not going to do it. I think they're judging it off of. You remember a time when Sammy wasn't going to go, and then he ended up going, and then
yeah,
that's
it's
Sammy
it's
and
it's
his
it's
feelings.
it's 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 different for each individual. At the end of the day, so
She
um,
gonna take up for you. She gonna talk about Jay News is stressed.
yeah, 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 yeah. But
Don't you take up for that man. Don't you cape for that man, okay?
at
And
the
he
end of
taught you down Spanish word. Don't cape for that man.
listen, man. At the end of the day, you know, I appreciate you, Ruby. I appreciate
Ladies and gentlemen, we're on to AEW. And the first show that we're going to talk about from AEW was on 1030. That was AEW Dynamite 265 Fright Night Dynamite. Ladies and gentlemen, down below, making sure, making sure. Down below are the matches scrolling below. Ladies and gentlemen, first up, we had Adam Cole defeating Buddy Matthews. AEW World Tag Team title match. We had a title change. Private Party, Quinn and Zay defeated the Young Bucks of Matthew and Nicholas Jackson. Chris Statlander defeated Camille with Mercedes Monet in her corner. And Swerve Strickland with Prince Nana defeated Shelton Benjamin with MVP in his corner. J News, did you see any of these matches?
Yes, I did, and I really, really liked Friday Night Dynamite. Fright Night Dynamite, should I say? Sorry about that. I think that the Adam Cole versus Buddy Matthews match was tremendous. They did the damn thing, as I knew that they would. Um, Private Party as the tag champions. A lot of people are going to say they deserve it. Um, we'll see what happens with Private Party as champions. The Young Bucks are now going to go on a hiatus due to injury and stuff like that, or whatever the case is. Chris Statlander's match against Camille. Um, it was what I thought it was going to be after
Right.
Camille had a bad match the previous week. This was going to be her opportunity to have a better match. She had a better match, but it still wasn't great at the end of the day. I want to give a great thank you to Chris Statlander for carrying a lot of the women in the women's division to good matches. And then we had the main event, I guess, which was Swerve Strickland and Shelton Benjamin, which I thought was a tremendous match. But then after the match was over, we finally saw the debut of the great, the immortal, the mighty, the almighty Bobby Lashley come out after the match. I thought that was a good spot.
You ever addressing Bobby Lashley? Please stop.
What
Please.
you mean?
Please. He look like that was you ever been to a cheap uh secondhand store and you see that cheap plastic uh fabric, that's what he look like.
Nah, Dolores. No, no, no,
That
no.
look bad. And
I
next week
completely
I'll pop
disagree.
that picture up here.
I completely disagree. I
That
completely
that
disagree.
suit look like his suits are never like he puts them too tight.
That's
They
that's
too
that's
tight.
Bobby though. That's Bobby's thing. That is his thing, Dolores.
Also, I just saw Bobby when he quote unquote pretended like he didn't know he was coming to AEW, be like, I'm on the move and I got a new Ford truck with his tight pants on and his tight shirt. I'm tired of looking at that man with tight clothes on. Breathe, man.
Is what he
Breathe. I
prefers.
know you don't want to
Dolores.
have no more kids, but breathe.
Is what he prefers at the end of the day. What you want me to tell you? I didn't think the suit looked bad. I thought the suit looked good, to be honest. That's a nice color on the man. But
After
at the end of
this,
the day,
I'm gonna send you a picture of that suit and a picture of some cheap material. And
I
we
saw no, that wasn't no cheap material, Dolores. I tell you right
that's
now.
not cheap. Listen, it don't have to be cheap, literally. It could just look cheap.
It
Okay?
didn't
Some
to me.
expensive stuff look cheap.
To me, it didn't look cheap. To me, it didn't look cheap, Dolores. I'm sorry to say. Sorry to say. We're going to agree to disagree at this very moment in time. It didn't look cheap to me at the end of the day.
Well,
Can't be putting
we
the
gonna
brothers
continue to talk
down
to
when they
Bobby
trying to get on top.
and his tight
We're not doing
clothes
that.
for the next 9 months. Do whatever he do. Now
No,
listen,
no, no,
mark my words,
no,
because we
no.
had this issue with the Undisputed Kingdom.
What?
Mark my
What
words
issue do we have?
that they gonna put this team together like they thought it should be in WWE, and guess what? It might not work, ladies and gentlemen.
No, that's not what happened, and you know it. That's not what happened, and you know it. Don't do the
No, I said
revisionist
they might
history
not
thing.
work in AEW. They might not work in AEW. This might not work in AEW, okay? Listen, I want peace and harmony. And I love for people to get together. But at a certain point, even I know that's not going to happen everywhere, all the time. Undisputed Kingdom had some injuries, had some stuff going on.
That's what happened.
But again, is it working? Point blank, period. I don't care how many injuries they got. Is it working?
They had to retcon a whole bunch of stuff at this point, Dolores.
But then they have injuries in WWE.
Who? Undisputed Kingdom?
Yeah, some of them had injuries in WWE.
Yeah, they did. And they
Okay.
were off
And
TV.
what's his name?
Yeah.
Bobby Fish.
Yeah.
He's just trash at this point. Okay.
But he's not there. So it
Also,
doesn't, doesn't matter.
Alex does the point. Don't nobody want him. And then yeah, but I saw a lot of people when he got fired or was let go that it was like, oh my God, he needs a better chance. We need to fight for Bobby Fish. And now look at him with shark teeth on MLW getting roasted by Alex King. Kane,
At,
sorry.
at the end of the day, I wanted to say that I really liked that episode of Dynamite. I think that all the different story points that they were trying to hit on the show were continued to be developed. I mentioned the Chris Statlander versus Camille match after the match took place and Camille lost. She not she but Mercedes Moné took it upon herself to attack Chris Statlander. She ordered Camille to return to the locker room. So that particular storyline is going to keep moving in the way that it's moving. I think that AEW did a good job to continue their story beats and their storylines
Yeah,
going
they've
forward.
been doing better with that. I think over the weeks, they've been doing better with developing stories.
Mhm.
This show is where I had the problem with. Okay.
Why?
Okay. So I'm packing a lunch, ladies and gentlemen, to watch this show. Okay. Because if you haven't noticed, ladies and gentlemen, as it's scrolling across the bottom, I had 15 matches that I had to watch. Some of them were like a minute long for no reason. Okay. No reason. Ladies and gentlemen, ROH on Honor Club, number 88 on 10/31. We had Beef and JD. Yes, I said that right. Beef and JD Drake defeat Peter Avalon and Preston Vance. Johnny TV defeated Denon Roosman. Gates of Agony, Bishop Kong and Toa Leona defeated CSJ and David Datura. Rena Isis defeated Lady Frost. We had a pure rules match where Matt Taven defeated Aaron Solo. The Righteous, Dutch and Vince defeated Jay Marston and Solomon Tapu. That's how you pronounce his name? I think it is. My favorite dude, Tomohiro Ishii, Stone Pitbull, defeated Josh Woods along with Ari Davari and Mark Sterling in his corner. Action Andretti and Top Flight, Dante and Darius Martin with Leela Gray and Leo Rush in their corner, defeated Dante Leon, Jossie, and Trip Jordy. Jay Lethal defeated Curryman. Yes, I said that right, Curryman, with Allison Danger in his corner. Billy Starks defeated Blair Onyx. The infantry of Charlie Bravo and Sean Dean with Lee Mariotti, Sean Taylor, Trisha Dora in their corner defeated Spanish Announce Project and Helico and Serpentico. Diamante defeated Amina Belmont. The Dark Order of Alex Reynolds, Evil Uno, John Silver defeated the Iron Savages of Beefcake Boulder, Bo Bronson, and Jack Jameson. We had Commander with Alex Abrahantes in his corner, defeat Ari Davari, who had Josh Woods and Mark Sterling in his. And last but not least, for the ROH Women's World Title, Halloween Ring of Honor match, Athena with Alexi Air beside her defeated Abaddon. I know you don't watch this, J News, and as you saw, you would have to give up your whole day for this. Have any thoughts on this, J News?
The only thing that I took away from this show is the fact that um, the infantry has now joined Shane Taylor Promotions. So that's a new storyline that's now developing not only on ROH television, but they also have taken it to AEW television, as we will see when we talk about Collision. Um, and we have uh, we have finally somewhat transitioned Athena into another stratosphere of ROH Women's Champion. I don't necessarily know where they take where she goes from here. I would prefer her to be on AEW television, but we shall see where that goes.
Ladies and gentlemen, next up is Rampage. Rampage 169 on the 1st. And these are the matches scrolling below. We had La Faction in Granabe, Jalistico Rouge and the Beast Mortis defeat Beef, JD Drake, and the Butcher. Taya Valkyrie, along with Deanna Perrazzo in her corner, defeated Zoe Lynn. We had Queen Aminata defeat Leela Gray. Action Andretti and Top Flight, consisting of Dante and Darius Martin, defeated the Dark Order of Alex Reynolds and Evil Uno, along with John Silver. Commander, with Alex Abrahantes in his corner, defeated Leo Rush. Any takeaways? Did you see any of this, J News?
So, takeaway from this was is that if you watch enough or all of AEW uh, uh, wrestling television, Commander was on a quick 2-match win streak before he hit Collision. I was surprised. I was honestly surprised that he beat Leo Rush on Rampage, being that they're doing some interesting character work with Leo Rush and Action Andretti specifically out of the members of Top Flight. But it does work towards what they're doing character wise with them, so that's fine. Um, and yeah, I don't know about if I have anything else to say about the rest of the show per se. But yeah, that's about it.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're on to the last AEW show that appeared on 11/2, which was yesterday. And the matches are scrolling below. Ladies and gentlemen, we had a Dia de los Muertos. Is that how you say it, J News? You the Spanish person.
Dia de los Muertos.
Yes, J News. Thunder
Mm.
Rose defeated Harley Cameron. Kyle Fletcher defeated Commander Alex Abrahantes in his corner. The Don Callis family, Brian Cage and Lance Archer defeated Joe Keys and Sean Smith. Pac with John Moxley, Mina Shafir, and Willa Yuta defeated Action Andrade. Uh, Leo Rush with Dante and Darius in his corner defeated Ari Daivari, who had Josh Woods and Mark Sterling in his corner. We had Roderick Strong with Matt Taven and Mike Bennett in his corner defeat Shane Taylor with Charlie Bravo, Lee Moriarty, and Sean Dean in his corner. And we had AEW Women's World Title match. Mariah May, the champion, defeating Anna Jay. J News, do you have anything to say about this collision?
I would like to say that the Anna Jay versus Mariah May match, for me, went better than expected. So props to the ladies.
Yeah.
Um, and now what to do with Anna? Not what to yeah, what to do with Anna Jay? Let's see what Tony Khan and the people in creative do with Anna Jay from here. That's just a comment I want to throw out there. Mariah May still being the locker room bully basically and the mean girl and all that jazz. After the match was over, a vignette or a clip played basically of her old friend Mina Shirakawa coming back to AEW. So we're building towards that match with Mariah May in the future. Um, the Leo Rush story continues as he was a little bit more physical, a little bit more rough and tough in his match versus Arya Daivari. So it seems like he's changing his ways on how he approaches matches now. So he seems to be more on the side of Action Andretti on being more aggressive with things. So I think there's going to be a split and a divide between the members of Top Flight coming soon. We'll also pay attention to. I wanted to put this out there for folks to understand. So Roderick Strong is also going on this best of three match thing to take on Max and whatnot, right? Max as an MJF. So Roddy won his match here versus Shane Taylor. Um, and that's another group that hasn't been involved in the larger John Moxley storyline is the Undisputed Kingdom, right? So I feel like whenever that becomes the case, right? Whenever the Undisputed Kingdom is in the vicinity, they're gonna have to bring up the fact that Marina Shafir and Roderick Strong are married. And we're gonna have that's gonna have to become a dynamic of the story somewhere,
Or
somehow.
she gonna accidentally get hurt and he's gonna snap his leg.
No, or she's gonna freaking throw him somewhere. I don't know necessarily. You know,
How you go home after that?
like he's gonna yell out, Marina, what are you doing? And he's gonna walk away, to add a comedic element to it. But Roger Strong, still one of the best in-ring performers in the business. The great match with Shane Taylor Promotions. They also had like a promo bit with Private Party to celebrate Private Party's win of the AEW Tag Team Championships at the beginning of the show. For me specifically, I thought it fell a little flat.
Yeah, they didn't get the like young bucks and other people kind of treatment when they had like these great grand things and then were interrupted.
Yeah,
It just seemed like it was like ooh, little fuzz, and I'm like, I
yeah,
want more for my boys. I want them to have a good time, even when uh trying to remember their name. Sorry, my mind's a little scrambled. But when they had the little sizzle party, listen,
right.
everybody's had this great thing, and then they just get like a
Yeah,
hey, I'm
it was
champion.
it was a little flat, and then they directly went towards FTR to like basically back up the claim that because they're now AEW Tag Team Champions, that they're the best tag team in the business. So it seems that whatever way these next pair of tag team matches that are going to come up on Dynamite and Collision end up, it's eventually going to be FTR versus Private Party.
I feel like we just going in circles with matches with teams, and I know there are new teams
Yeah,
that could be thrown in the mix. It's just
yeah, we'll see how it develops there. I thought that the impromptu match between Pac and Action Andretti was a good bit of storytelling there for that ongoing story with John Moxley and the Death Riders. So we'll see where EW takes it. But yeah, solid show though.
Ladies and gentlemen, we had TNA 1058 on Halloween 1031, ladies and gentlemen. And you know, your girl watched it. And these are the matches scrolling at the bottom. uh, Ladies and gentlemen, on TNA, we have First Class, which is AJ Francis and Casey Navarro defeat the Rascals of Trey Miguel and Zachary Wentz. We had Eric Young, Jonathan Gresham, Steve Macklin defeat Josh Alexander and the good hands of Jason Hotch and John Schuyler. Ash by Elegance with her protege Heather by Elegance, and the personal concierge they have defeated Johnny Luna, who had Jody Threat in her corner. Lee Ying Lee defeated Maggie Moore, and the system, Eddie Edwards and JDC, along with Alicia Edwards in their corner, defeated Joe Hendry and Nick Nemeth. I can tell you from watching this J News, they just got out of a pay per view, and you know TNA is that weird, awkward, like in between where you don't really get anything worthwhile. Um, Anytime I have a Halloween episode and I don't see PCO, I'm doing great. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, we're on to my favorite thing. It's hardcore wrestling from GCW. GCW. Ladies and gentlemen, I get hyped for GCW. And on GCW, we had two shows that we're going to be reviewing. The first one, Monster Bash. Ladies and gentlemen, and as you see, the graphic for the Monster Bash show, we had on 31st, Brooke Havoc defeated Viperous. Dark Sheet defeated Broski Jimmy. Juicy Finale defeated Bobby Flacco. Effie defeated a dude named Rob. Gringo Loco defeated Ray Ores. J News can pronounce that with his Spanish speaking ability.
What you mean? Oh,
Ares.
yeah, yeah, it's ours. Yeah,
Yeah, I always try to say Ares, but I'm like
no, it's
Ares.
ours. It's ours. Yeah.
For the JCW title match, Masha Slamovich kept her championship by defeating Zara Zakir. Mike Bailey defeated Super Crazy. Good match. Go back. Scramble match, CJ Tino defeated Ariel Van Gogh, Antonio Rivers, Boa Silver, L. J News, Permio.
That is something that is not necessarily in a language, but it says primo henio.
Yeah, see, J News.
Mhm.
J2 and Robin Shaw. We had Cyclope defeat RS. I think anytime Mike Bailey is in a match at GCW, that's definitely what you need to do. Effie's match, again, they're doing this thing with Effie where his friend is turning against him, and it's, again, something that we've been through before. Please, can we move Effie away from his friends betraying him? Next show on yesterday, which I got to watch live, was GCW Hawaii Mania, ladies and gentlemen. And these gonna have two slides because we had a lot of matches. Jamie Senegal defeated Gino Rivera. Cole Radrick, who is now beefing with Matt Cardona and Brusky Jimmy, defeated Brusky Jimmy in this match. Gringo Loco defeated Ares. Pretty good match. This is the part where I got mad at AEW. Danhausen defeated Officer Colt Cabana. And Jay News, why would I be mad at that?
Um, because these two men, Danhausen and Officer Cole Cabana, are AEW contracted talents, and they are not on AEW television, but they compete on GCW, and they do whatever they want elsewhere. There.
Yes. Also, it's the fact that Officer Colt Cabana was dressed up as an officer, and then they introduced him as locking up thousands of people. This this wrestler, this good wrestler, is
Mhm.
now dressed up with a corn stash, and we all know what corn means.
Mhm.
Corn stash, his shirt half unbuttoned, with a nightstick, and the whole get up like he came from Party City in Hawaii to wrestle as Officer Colt Cabana.
I
Makes me
mean,
want to scream.
it was his decision, Dolores. I don't, you know.
Nah. We ain't gonna do him like this. This we not gonna do. He deserves a little bit better. He already got roasted. He already got roasted by my favorite wrestler. He
I,
already got roasted.
I hear you, but no one forced Colt Cabana to wear a police officer's costume. No one forced him.
J News, you know what forced him to do this?
What?
Light, water, gas, rent, food.
No. Unfortunately, you're absolutely wrong. Do you know why? Because he's still getting paid. These contracts are guaranteed.
Oh wait a
Let,
minute, I
us-
thought
I-
girls because I thought you were gonna say I
let,
thought
let,
you were
let,
gonna say he's
let,
still
let,
living with his
let
mama.
me let me be clear about
I
this
thought you
right
were gonna
now.
say he's still living with his mama.
No, no,
That's what I thought you was
let
gonna
me be clear about this. Whenever people ever say to you guys, or if you ever hear this in circles where, wrestlers have to be the biggest draw, they sell a lot of merchandise, and they bring in all this money. That's extra. That stuff, the gate,
Yeah.
the merch, that shit is extra. These guys have guaranteed deals. They have base salaries that they make, right? And they don't even ever have to show up to work at the end of
Listen,
the day.
anybody who's had a salary knows that ain't enough in this economy. That
It
ain't
doesn't.
enough.
First of all, you have no idea how much money Cole Cabana is making on his base salary. You got no clue. How do
If
you know
John,
he's not making
I think,
enough?
I think when we looked up John Moxley's salary, it's only a little over a couple of million. I know he ain't making that.
No, but that's obvious. That's an obvious differentiation. Cole Cabana is not on John Moxley's level, or
I
from a
thought
pay
he was
scale
a trainer
standpoint,
there though, wasn't he?
huh?
Wasn't he like training or working backstage or doing something?
He's a producer backstage.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like he's not getting paid. He's
The
getting
man,
paid.
that match. Okay. Listen, I love Danhausen, and 99% of the times I would recommend Danhausen for a good laugh as a match. I wouldn't recommend this one.
Listen,
Ladies and gentlemen, we had a match start off with Joey Janela versus Rain. It ended in no contest because giant leather, a giant man dressed in leather, and Corey Oliver interrupted. So then wrestling. Joey Janela and Rain had to get together to defeat Giant Leather and Corey Oliver. We had Effie defeat Mike Bailey. On to the rest of the matches of the night. Allie Catch, ladies and gentlemen, defeated Dark Sheik. Megan Bain defeated Sam Stackhouse. If you've never seen Sam Stackhouse, for her to pick that man up, God bless her. She picked. Imagine Piper Niven 3 times over. That's what she picked up. GCW World Title match. Mance Warner defeated Kamina. How you pronounce Kamina? Listen, when they say these names on GCW, it goes in one ear and out the other.
you got to make sure it's Kaimana.
Kamana.
Yeah,
Too Tough Tony. I did know him, and I thought this was hilarious. Too Tough Tony and Ariel Van Gogh and Caleb Conley and Matt Cross defeated Bobby Flacco, Jake Lander, Jeffrey John, King, they
Atapa.
beat Atapa.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, that was funny
Mm.
because Too Tough Tony it's not, it's like if you took Tony D'Angelo and he's not in NXT, he just a wannabe gangster from the hood. That's this. That's this. Afi defeated Matt Cardona, which was a good match. It's a good talent from Hawaii to show off. And I really like this because it's like they did work with talent in the area of Hawaii. And they said they want to come back. And they had a good amount of people there.
That's good. That's cool.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go to progress. And with progress, ladies and gentlemen, this is a good show that I would tell people to go back and watch. Ladies and gentlemen, for the Defy World title match, we had Kenta keeping his championship, defeating
Kara.
Aaron Noir.
Mhm.
Gene Money will Cruz defeated Sunshine Machine of Chuck Mambo and TK Cooper. For the Progress Tag Team title, we had the Smoking Aces. Charlie Sterling, Nick Riley defeat the experience of LA Tyler and Sky Smithson. For the Progress World title match, this is what I tell people, keep an eye out on the indies for Luke Jacobs. Luke Jacobs kept his championship by defeating a man like Darius. We had Ricky Knight Jr. defeat Connor Mills, Mike D, and Zoya.
Mhm.
We had Simon Miller. Yay! I had a kick out of this. Uh, the Progress Protest title match. Simon Miller defeated Paul Robertson to become a champion. Subculture. Flash Morgan Webster and Mark Andrews defeat Eddie Dennis and Tate Mayfierce. It was a pretty good match. And for the Progress Women's title match, Riho defeated Lizzie Evo. Pretty. They don't have. I think out of indies that I watch, I would say this would come second, well third, because I love GCW the most. But Wrestling Revolver has and HOG so fourth. HOG and Wrestling Revolver, they always have bangers. Ladies and gentlemen, you get to enjoy the good stylings from the good brother J News.
All right, we are going to talk about some Stardom, Goddess of Stardom Tag League action that started taking place last week. Um, on the 27th, we've had the return of the legendary Dump Matsumoto, along with members of Hate, Momo Watanabe, Natsuko Tora, and Ruaka, along with Zap, defeating the Cosmic Angels of Aya Sakura, Natsupoi, Sayori Anu, Sayaka Kurara, and Tam Nakano. We then had the Tag League Block B matches start. God's Eye, Saki Kashima, and Sayori got another win. So they defeated the Stars Tag Team of Hazuki and Kaguma. We then had Empress Nexus Venus, Rian, and Waka Tsukiyama with another win, defeating Zuza Inaba and Rina. Mina Shirakawa, Saya Lita, and Starlight Kid in a six-person tag defeated God's Eye of Hina, Lady C, and Rani Yagami. We then had Block B action again. We had the hate combo of Konami and Saya Kamitani get a win here, defeating the Stars tag team of Mayu Iwatani and Momokogo. And then we had the Goddess of Stardom Tag League Block B match, which had the other Empress Nexus Venus tag team of Hanako and Maika get their first win, defeating the Neo Genesis team of Azumi and Mayu Amasaki. And then we had a high-speed title match which had the champion Mei Sarah defeat Yuna Mizumori. On the 31st, we had Suzu Suzuki and Sayori defeat Empress Nexus Venus members Mina Shirakawa and Rian. Azumi and Saya Lita defeated God's Eye members Lady C and Rani Yagami. Hate members Natsuko Tora, Ruaka, and Saya Kamitani defeated Neo Genesis members Mei Sarah, Mayu Amasaki, and Starlight Kid. In Block B match action, we had Stars members Suzuki and Kaguma get another win, defeating the Cosmic Angels of Sayaka Kurara and Tam Nakano. We then had the other Empress Nexus Venus tag team of Hanako and Maika defeat Stars, Mayu Iwatani, and Momokogo. So that gets that team to 4 points of Empress Nexus Venus. Cosmic Angels tag team of Natsupoi and Sayori Anu get another win, defeating Cosmic Angels team Aya Sakura and Yuna Mizumori. We have Pro Wrestling Noah on the come up here. More of the Sunny Voyage tour. We had Anthony Green and LJ Cleary defeat Atsushi Katoje and Muhammad Yone. Manabu Soya and Rattel's Hayata and Yohei defeat Iyata, Goshi Ozaki, and Shuhei Taniguchi. We had El Hijo de Dr. Wagner Jr. and Galeno del Mal defeat All Rebellion, Alejandro and Cristobal. Masaki Tamiya and Uka Sasaki defeat Team 2000X, which is Daga and Jack Morris, with Yoshitatsu on their corner. And shoot, what the hell? Sorry. We had that particular match decided by DQ. Uh, Ahi, Akitoshi Saito defeated Daika Odashima. Akitoshi Saito defeated Yu Owada. Akitoshi Saito went up against Juta Miyawaki to a time limit draw. Um, 3 matches in a row. Seems like Saito is on the come up here. Alpha Wolf and Dragon Bane defeated Rattel's Tadasuke and Yuto Kikuchi. All Rebellion members Kai Fujimura, Kaito Kiyomiya, and Keno defeated Amakusa, Naomichi Marufuji, and Takashi Sugiura. On to New Japan. We have the Super Junior Tag Tournament right now. So we have the War Dogs, Clark Connors, and Drilla Maloney showing Yoshinobu Kanemaru of the House of Torture, Robbie Eagles and Kosei Fujita of TMDK, Hiromu Takahashi and Bushi of Los Ingobernables de Japón, Ryusuke Taguchi and Dragon Dia as a tag team, Tiger Mask and Captain Suicida in the A block. We have B block, Kushida and Kevin Knight, the Intergalactic Jet Setters, TJP and Francesco Akira, Catch 2-2, Yo and Rocket Romero of Chaos, the DKC and Ninja Mac as a team, Robbie X and Taiji Ishimori representing the Bullet Club, and Paris De Silva and Jude London, the Velocities in block B. Row 2. On the 2nd, which was yesterday, we had Masatori Yasuda and Shomakato defeat Daiki Nagai and Katsuya Murashima, the Young Lions. Digere Suicida, Captain Suicida, and Tiger Mask. First time I ever saw that. And Tomoaki Hama defeat Bullet Club War Dog members Clark Connors, Drilla Maloney, and Gato. Bebop Tag Team Hiroshi Tanahashi and Toru Yano, along with the Skateboard Bros of Dragon Dia and Ryusuke Taguchi, along with Oleg Bolton, defeated House of Torture members Evil Renarita, Sho Yoshinobu Kanemaru, Yujiro Takahashi, along with Dick Togo in their corner. Just 5 guys, Doki Sonata and Tai Chi defeat Jado, Master Wato, and Shota Umino. TMDK members Kosei Fujita, Robbie Eagles, Ryohei Oiwa, and Zack Sabre Jr. defeat Los Ingobernables de Japón. Bushi, Hiromu Takahashi, Shingo Takagi, Tetsuya Naito. Super Junior Tag League, we have Block B quarters, I believe. Or, yeah, I think it was Block B quarterfinals or, Bullet Club members Robbie X and Taiji Ishimori. They defeated the Velocities of Jude London and Paris De Silva. We then had Catch 2-2, Francesco Apira and TJP, along with Jacob Austin Young, defeat Ninja Mac and the DKC. And then we had the Intergalactic Jet Setters, Kevin Knight and Kushida, defeat Roppongi Revice of Rocket Romero and Yo. So we have 3 teams there, tied at 6 points. Going on to the previews for next week. DDT. Defy. They have their collaboration show, DDT and Utero. Interesting. And then we have DDT along with Defy and Tokyo Joshi Pro in their Triangle DTE.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, both of those pay-per-views do not have any matches listed at this point, but we will go over them next week when we come on live.
Yeah. Tokyo Joshi Pro is an all-women's Japanese wrestling organization. For New Japan next week, we will have the Super Junior Tag League finals that take place tomorrow on the 4th of November. And that will be on the show for the 4th, right, which is NJPW Power Struggle. We have the final match, which is Francesco Akira and TJP Catch 2-2 versus the Ichiban Sweet Boys of TMDK, Kosei Fujita, and Robbie Eagles. We then have Hiroshi Tanahashi and Oleg Bolton versus House of Torture members Evil and Ren Narita. We then have the IWGP Tag Team title match. TMDK's Mikey Nichols and Shane Haste, the champions, are going to go up against the United Empire's Great Khan and Hanare. IWGP Junior Heavyweight title match is going to be Doki versus Master Wato. The Global Heavyweight title match is going to be David Finlay versus Tai Chi. And then Sanada versus Shota Umino, and a special singles match, which is going to determine the number 1 contender for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. And in the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship title match, Zack Sabre Jr., the champion, is going to go one-on-one versus Shingo Takagi of Los Ingobernables de Japón. On to New Japan Strong Fighting Spirit Unleashed, which will take place on the 8th of November, which is next Friday, I believe. Mustafa Ali will go one-on-one versus Leo Rush. We'll then see in a non-title match, David Finley's going to go one-on-one versus Kevin Knight. Kenta versus Ryohei Oiwa. We'll then have best two out of three falls tag team title match. The West Coast Wrecking Crew, Gerald Nelson and Royce Isaacs, are going to go against Dirty Work, Fred Rosser and Tom Lawler. My God, man. How many more times are we supposed to do this match? NJPW Strong Openweight Tag Team title match is going to be the champions TMDK, Mikey Nichols and Shane Haste, going up against the grizzled young veterans of James Drake and Zach Gibson. That should be a banger of a match. The NJPW Strong Women's title number one contendership four-way match is going to have Kaguma go up against her stablemate Hazuki, along with Trisha Dora and Anna Jay. So we shall see where that goes. NJPW Strong Openweight title match is going to see the champion, Gabe Kidd, the fucking madman, go one-on-one against the Ichiban Sweet Boy, Kosei Fujita. And then we go on the 9th, NJPW New Japan's Road to Anjo. Nothing's been listed as of yet, but we'll catch you guys up next week when we see what the matches look like.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of our going over what happened in the week. Now we got some work to do. Some work to do. Let me get us back in the studio. We got some work to do. Here we go. So, ladies and gentlemen, well, we are in the wrong place. I'm over here in J News' house. There we go. Put us back. Oh, wait a minute. Put us back, J News. I keep dragging us back over. You go on your blue side. I stay over here on my pink side, J News. So, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to let J News step out of the box, and he's going to talk about himself a little bit more.
As always, thank you to Delores for letting me speak my piece as she does on a weekly basis. Just to plug my stuff, obviously you guys can always watch me and Dolores here on the Hit the Ropes podcast on either Dolores' YouTube channel or my YouTube channel as you're watching it live streaming now every Sunday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, talking all things wrestling of whatever occurred during the wrestling week. This is one of the things and one of the pieces of media that I do during the week. You can also catch me on True Heel Heat podcast as well, as I do most of the reviews for the up and coming New Japan Pro Wrestling shows. I will not be on tomorrow, unfortunately. I have some personal matters to take care of. So that is that for the Power Struggle review. So if you want a Power Struggle review from your good brother Jay News, I will be back on with Dolores next Sunday to do that review. Unfortunately, I won't be on True Heel Heat. And then you can also catch me on my YouTube channel or my Twitter/X account or my Instagram at JohnLYFNMG, your friendly neighborhood moviegoer. I was telling Dolores before we got on that I did a partial write-up for a review of a movie that I saw on Thursday night. And when I went back to try to finish it, everything that I had written disappeared. It was gone for the review of what I wrote. That was very frustrating. So I will probably put up a audio only version of my review via my podcast, the John L. Your Friendly Neighborhood Movie Goer podcast. You can catch that on whatever distributor of podcasts that you have available to you, be it Amazon Music, be it Audible, be it Spotify, be it YouTube podcasts, or whatever have you. I am available on there, so look out for that review coming this week. The movie that I will be reviewing is a what people would call an awards movie, an awards movie contender, which is called The Nora. It's exactly what I thought it was going to be as a movie, but it was fun for me to watch and see how they went about really putting the story together. And I thought it was a really excellent film with some powerful performances and stuff like that. But I will be giving you guys the detailed breakdown coming on the pod this week.
Well, you guys, it is my turn to pop out of the box. I will be talking about my channel, and then I will do my spotlight of the week. Here's my channel. If you're on it, thank you for being here. Please go check out J News. This is my link to everything you can get in touch with my email. I have a special phone number. I have Discord, Twitch, Twitter, TikTok, every social media. I pretty much have it. So I really appreciate you all coming and being with us here live every Sunday. Now, before I go back in the box, go out back out of the box. I really appreciate J News. Make sure you go check out his channel, okay? Check out his channel. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm out of the box, and this is something that I rarely do as far as my spotlight. My spotlight is very important to me. Um, Normally, we highlight wrestlers and things, and I've even on another podcast highlighted Jay News for his birthday because he's very important to this podcast. He's important to me. But this week's spotlight is important to me because um, I had a tag partner, and my tag partner's not here no more. But I got a rep a team, and so I am not gonna be the boohoo crying girl up here. You're not gonna catch me with that. But I wanted to spotlight my grandma. She was she was my tag partner. We watched wrestling. How my granddaddy got me into it. It's something that was very important to me because if you all don't know, November 8th, her and her sister were killed in a car accident, and my love of wrestling came from her, and she encouraged it. No matter if I was a girl or not, I could do anything, and for that, I appreciate that. Um, this meant a lot to me, and I appreciate J News even agreeing to let me do this because I wanted to honor her in a way to let people know this spirit, this fun, this love for wrestling that I have. It came from her, and she helped make me who I am, and so I'm very appreciative of it. And so my spotlight of the week is to my grandma. And so I will always appreciate all the things she has taught me and given me and this gusto to push forward and to love wrestling, even though my granddaddy kind of started me in it. I kind of drug her in it, and we were just in it together from then on. So, again, my spotlight of the week is my grandma. So, let me get back to the studio.
That is an awesome tribute to your grandmother, Lois Dolores. You don't have to ever thank me or for allowing you to do anything. This is our show. We do this together. At the end of the day, it is a beautiful thing for us to be able to keep connections to people that might have passed on and things of that nature. It is cool, and it is awesome to me to know that I wasn't the only one that was brought into professional wrestling by an elder woman in my life. My great aunt Rita, she passed away many years ago. She was the main reason as to why I even started watching professional wrestling. So I know what that's like. So it is definitely something that I think a lot of us should always look back onto. No doubt, professional wrestling is entertainment and things of that nature, but it's a bond that we create with people who cared for us and cared about us. So it's something that I feel is very important for us to talk about on whatever platforms we might have. So
Yeah,
um,
I've always been open about like how my granddaddy got me into it, and then I think they just was just wrestling fans themselves, and then when he passed away, she was just kind of like, I'm gonna watch wrestling with you. But it was during that time that it was like changing from her old type of wrestling, and she stuck by it. Also, if you all haven't heard the story, I was a bad kid, and I loved wrestling so much I was willing to go out for it, and so it's like. Um, you going to church? I'm not going to church. I'm watching wrestling. It's coming on Sundays now on cable and I can watch it. And she's like, no, you're going. And I'm like, not going to church, lady. I'm going to watch wrestling. And I proceed to get put in a figure four, like a Boston crab almost. And as I begin to tap out, I realize I cannot. Like watch wrestling. So I was sad face, tears rolling down my face. Like I gotta go. And I come back from church. Mind you, she did not go. She sent me on my way with my mother and she stayed at home. To her not know the new age wrestlers and her begin to tell me about the wrestling she had saw. This tall man picked this other man up who had these like different color, and I'm looking at her like, I couldn't stay at home for this. I could be, you could have been together like this. I could have been like twin. Where have you been? She was like, nah. You gotta get out and see the world. I was like, no, grandma, I want to see wrestling. That's what I want to see on Sundays. That and I had a TV I would flick late at night where I was like, wait a minute, can I see the pay per view? I see it. It's come on. She's like, you're doing too much. I was like, yes. Are you gonna pay for the pay per view? She's like, no. I was like, well, let me keep on flicking it. But I appreciate you all because your girl be missing sometimes. Now you might see J News depending on how I feel next week by itself. Now I'll be in the background. I might, be do 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 do. But but it depends. So if you that's and also I appreciate my friend Ruby. She been here for me the week. I've been trying to practice with her. Just woosah. Don't sob. Y'all ain't gonna catch me on the screenshots, snot nose, crying on TV. Can't do that. I'm too pretty. I'm too pretty. As I told J News earlier, I'm a blind baddie now. For those who don't know, I
Lord.
am a blind baddie. Okay,
Are you going to show the people why you're a blind baddie?
I'm a blind baddie. Most people do not know this, but I wear glasses. Okay, I am a blind baddie, and for that, I gave my grandma now like, put your glasses on. Pay all that money and put your glasses on. No, I didn't. I'm young. Thank you, Ruby. Listen, if y'all ain't been over to Ruby spot either, go over there. She cook good food, J News. Every time she put up a cooking video, I
I've,
wonder.
I've seen the thumbnails,
Yes.
and yeah, it looks like she's out here dabbling in delicacies, and I need to understand what it is that she's making. So Ruby, you might see me upon your channel uh on a day.
See,
So
y'all got a thing. Y'all can have like a thing. Cause she is she's trying to learn Spanish. You trying to get the good cookings. Listen. And listen, y'all, I ain't changed my name yet. But it gonna come in a minute. It's gonna be Delores Homestead tomorrow. Cause your girl out here now, she in the garden game. She's chefing it up in this piece, okay? Listen, I'm gonna be out here talking about, hey, look at the podcast. I'm put all my greens and stuff in the windows and stuff. Listen, yeah, you supposed to say I'm a BB. I'm a blind baddie, okay? I told Jay News was it a couple of weeks ago. They said that uh five beautiful women are anemic. I was like, yeah, so I got it all. Listen, I'm up here cooking it in the kitchen. Listen, I ain't like Ruby though. Ruby trying to. Jay News, she said she put the recipe out there. That's enough. I said, no, you supposed to cook it and send it to me, Jay. She got cakes, pies, sliders,
mhm.
burgers. Why I can't get it out of there, J News?
As you say, she's your friend. So you talk to her about.
Listen, everybody, as soon as they put that seed in the ground, they're homestead. I need to be Dolores Homestead. Soon as I drop my little pie in my arrow garden, just be like, homestead and more, right there. My 2 acres of arrow, when you cook it, 2 acres of arrow garden right here on the thing, J News.
Okay.
But
I,
ladies
I support you in whatever it is you want to do outside of, committing any crimes and things of that nature. So, you know,
I be about to commit some crimes.
keep it there.
I be about to. About to. Ladies and gentlemen, this is our second week on our new platform. I think we're doing good, doing great, doing wonderful. We like your feedback. Tell us if there's a show that you want us to cover. Put it in the comments. Come check us out. Definitely check out J News. I know I say it every week. He's gonna drop content. He will.
Yeah, I had the content ready to go because usually nowadays the way that I structure everything, I will write out, I will do a written review, I'll post that on my letterbox and on my blog, and then based on my written review, I will record a podcast on it. And when I lost all my written all my written content, I was like, man,
Listen, ladies and gentlemen, while we in Brady Bunch mode, check out J News' QR code right there. If you cannot scan the QR code, which you should be able, because I checked it 3 times, you should go to J News's channel. It's your favorite, your friendly neighborhood moviegoer. You listen, I got tongue tied just then. The hood was trying to jump out of it uh, over there on YouTube. Check up on some of his older films. If you might have not seen some of them, you want to know how it is, go over there and check out of it. I am going to say I try to leave y'all with one good J News fact. I always tell you he's a good man, Savannah. He's a good man, Savannah. Okay, listen, good man. He speaks Spanish. He's very fluent in these Japanese names. Listen, he work. He's athletic. He go to the movies. He smarts. You know what I'm saying? You better pick him up. Better pick him up, ladies. Going up to the channel, pick him up, pick him up, pick him up.
yo, man, you're
Listen,
doing too much. But anyways,
listen, pick him up, ladies.
appreciate you. Appreciate
For he have like 9,000 people over his channel. Make sure you the first one. Thank you, Ruby. See, that's a friend right now. She went on a picture link up. Go click that link.
you. I appreciate you, Ruby. I appreciate you. What was I gonna say? You've got all this content that you've been doing as of late, Dolores, that I've been always see these thumbnails come up on my YouTube feed, right? And it's like, well, Dolores is putting out all this helpful content and people need to see it. You need to tell people about this content that you're putting out there for them.
Jayla, I ain't put out no content in a while because
Wow.
I can't I can't get nobody to come by my house. Maybe if once I become a homesteader more, they'll drop on by. But I can't. I didn't auction them. See, he got free will, free choice. J News has free choice. I'm just trying to get the people to come so he could get chose. Okay, okay. Come by, knock on the door, offer him a pie. You remember back in the day when old ladies, as soon as your wife died, they come knock on your door and be like, "You want a pie? I can come sit next to you in church. You okay?
Oh my God.
You want somebody to talk to? I can
Oh,
go to the movies with you." That's what.
my
Listen. And this young J News. Remember 2 weeks ago, he didn't look like this. I don't know who this
God.
man is.
Jeez Louise. Oh my God. Um,
Listen, long as it ain't for me, because I listen. Don't come in my email box, sirs. Sirs. Don't email me.
oh man. Listen. Um, I needed to laugh. I appreciate that. What was I gonna say? Yeah, new week, new month. We're in November already, right?
Yeah.
The year has flown by, and still
I
left
got,
to
I
do,
got to listen. I got
left to
another
accomplish.
special spotlight for a friend eventually,
Hmm?
whenever it may be. But I want to shout out. I do want to shout out everybody. Go subscribe to J News immediately. Everybody go subscribe to 10 immediately. If you got a business, if you trying to get your stuff together, 10 membership will definitely get you there. She do from LLCs to websites to whatever. She got it all. Okay, she'll definitely hook you up and hook you up right. Ruby, she cooks. She talks about the Lord. She's very funny with these Snapchat filters. Uh, Big potato head and all over there laughing at her. But ladies and gentlemen, I want to say it's a shame that my girl Ruby is not partially monetized. I want to tell you, go over there and subscribe to her. Let's bring her up to 500. Let's go over there and get her watch hours good, okay? Because she's got this great content and she's dropping it every day, sometimes 2 to 3 times a day. We need to get her there, okay? Now, me, I was happy yesterday and I was sad today. Yesterday, I was happy because I looked up, I was at 199. I was sad today because I was back at 198. I was like, oh no, that's all right. Also, don't forget my boy ARD. He gonna be coming back eventually. A resilient dad, a resilient dad. So make sure you in on the ground floor for when he dropped this fire content or another fire live. Listen, y'all was there for that first live. We had a party and we enjoyed ourselves. Second live can only get anything better. Okay.
Well,
Listen, I appreciate you, 10. 10 will definitely get you. If you want to learn the ins and outs of YouTube and business, 10 is the best person for you. Listen, if I could afford 10's highest plan, I would, but I ain't got no business I'm trying to have. I can't I can't make that money. I can't make that money. I wish I could. Listen, y'all, that's a key fact. If I could make this money, because I got the as 10 say I'm smart. I smart, but I can't do it. Okay? So we're gonna try to get J News, Ruby, 10, and ARD. And make sure you go check out Auntie Ella too. Uh Garden Quilt and Art Show. I think that's what it is. My brain's gonna scramble. You know, these people they deserve their money. Yes. Listen, I've been trying to get ARD to do another live. That boy jumped out of jail in one live with almost 200 some odd subscribers. I was like, I wish I could do that. Jesus. Oh, hallelujah. But again, thank you for coming. I appreciate you all for being here, being very supportive. Thank you for going over to J News' channel. If you ain't been over there, go over there. If you over at J News and you ain't been over here, come on over here. It's fun. You know, Delores is my name. This is my channel. I'm just a pink girl in her pink world living here on YouTube. And for you all who don't know, I do everything. I do arts and crafts. I play games. I got a new controller, y'all. Now I look like I'm a gardener. Uh, I do every and anything because that's just me. I like to have fun and I want to include you all in it and help you all get to where you want to be. Just because I can't get there don't means you don't have to get there. See, look, call his name and he appears. ARD. Look, you eyes tried now. You will. You will. You will. You will. Okay? And again, before I cut the lights out, I sure want to really say I appreciate J News for letting me make my spotlight of the week, which is my beautiful, wonderful grandmother. So yeah, because that's my tag team partner. That's my homie. I've been sad since she been gone. So I appreciate that. Okay, so let me get back into the studio. Run back home. Take this off. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I always say it's getting hot in here, ladies and gentlemen. Jadus, have you seen that video of that lady in the stadium? I'm assuming she's watching her son or grandson play. She's bald headed and she is having a hot flash so bad that steam is.
oh, I saw that. Yeah, I saw that the other day. Yeah.
That's the type of hot it is right now, ladies and gentlemen. It's that's the type, that's that's the type of hot it is, ladies and gentlemen. It is that hot in here. We have to go. We got to shut the lights out. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's cut the lights out. And until then, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna say peace.